Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to talk about everything that happened on last night's Monday Night Raw episode. And before we get into the matches and everything, I kind of want to touch base on how I feel about Raw lately. I honestly have had a hard time getting into it. I feel like there's a ton of commercials. I feel like there's a ton of like breaks and a lot of talking. And I feel like that takes away from the entire show. Last night we had one match within the first hour of the show. One. And I just feel like, yes, we need promos. Yes, we need, storylines and whatever building. But you should have way more than one match in your first hour of your TV show. And also the commercials, there's so many of them. And I was hoping that when we moved to Netflix that the commercials would be less, but they've become more, I feel like. I feel like we've gotten more commercials lately than action, and it's really kind of defeating and frustrating for the person watching the episode because as soon as I get invested into a match or into something that, someone in the ring is doing, we cut away to a commercial break. I miss half of it and then come back. And so I feel like the timing of the commercials are bad, the amount of commercials are bad, and really it makes it hard for you to fully get invested in the match itself. If you're going to have that many commercials, listen, I get it, we all run on money. And if you need those commercials for your sponsorship or whatever it might be, then that's fine. But at least do the picture in picture for me. Like, at least still have the match in the corner. That way, I'm not getting fully invested and seeing Rhea Ripley hit a riptide just to cut to commercial break quick and not see what happens afterwards. It just feels completely off to me, and I don't like it. I hope that they find a solution to make it feel like it flows a little more. But right now, I just feel like we get into something heavy and then whoops, commercial, here we go. And then we have to jump back into it and it's not in the same spot. And so it's just extremely hard for the fan, for myself, to watch the show with all of that going on, honestly. Like, that's just my take on it. You guys may think differently. You guys may actually enjoy the commercials. I don't know. That's everybody's opinion. But for me, it's just really hard to get invested and then cut to a commercial and have to jump back in when I've missed a half, like the whole chapter. So I hope that they can flow through those a little better, but we'll see how that turns out. But the first match of the night was the women's qualifier matchup between Ivy Nile, Stephanie, Raquel Rodriguez, and Asuka. And frankly, all four of these women really performed well in this match. I'm not surprised that Asuka won. I said since she came back that she was going to win. You don't come back and then lose the match that you come back to. It doesn't happen. It rarely happens in the WWE. So I'm not surprised that the Empress moved on. I do think that was the right call because we want to see more of her since she is returning. I will say I wish Stephanie was in a different bracket though, because I would have liked to see her move on as well. But I do think that there are bigger things out there in store for her. She's fantastic. She's been honestly one of the main features of the women's division for the last few weeks now. So I think we're definitely going to get more Stephanie, but I really enjoyed this overall matchup and these four women. And I think that we're going to get a little more heavy focused on the women's division with Evolution coming up because we have a lot of storylines to build there and a lot of matches to set before it actually comes up. And to be honest with you guys, it's only like I don't know, 4 weeks away. I might be a little off on that, but it's super close. Like all of these PLEs, I feel like are just so close that we're like, going to sleep. We were watching one, we're going to sleep, we're waking up to a new one. Like that's just what it feels like. So I feel like the women's division is definitely going to be heavily favorited, with Evolution 2 coming up because we need more of those storylines, we need more of those matches, and we need more emphasis on what's going to happen during that PLE. Now, with that being said, I will say that they should have left Asuka a mystery. Like they should have done kind of what they did with Jay on the men's side. Just left her a mystery and let her surprise return, because I feel like her return wasn't as exciting because we knew it. Like, we knew it was happening. And it kind of was not even presented excitingly. Like last week on Raw, we saw the bracket and she was just in it. And we're like, "Oh, Asuka's returning, like she's on the bracket." And then later they like cut the little promo and I feel like it was an afterthought. So I wish that they would have just kept her a secret and she could have just came out to her music. Her music could have hit. I think it would have had a bigger impact than what it did. But regardless, I'm happy for Asuka. I'm happy she's back and healthy, and I can't wait to see what she does, especially with all of the women's division and how stacked it is now. And then of course we had the return that shocked us all. I mean, I was shocked, you guys, so shocked. I'm being sarcastic. Goldberg is back. He's back to take Gunther's title to challenge Gunther at Saturday Night Main Event in Atlanta on July 12th. He is back for one last match and woohoo! I'm so excited. Not really. I'm not gonna rant again like I did last week. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not gonna go there. But I just don't understand why this match needed a title. Like, why? Goldberg's not gonna win. He's not gonna win. He's back for one match. He's not gonna win the title. And then once that match is over, what's next for Gunther? He hasn't really cooked up any feuds. He hasn't really been in any storylines. So I'm not sure. I honestly think this hurts the World Heavyweight Championship as a whole, because it just feels like now we're piecing together matches. And I felt like that with the whole Jay and Logan thing. Like Jay's first challenger being Logan, I was like, why? Like that, why? Um, I mean, it was kind of a layup. Like, it's like, okay, here's a challenger for Jay. It's an easy one. He's not going to lose to. But I just feel like with that match and now the Gunther Goldberg match, this belt is not being taken seriously, and that hurts you because this is the World Heavyweight Championship. When Triple H introduced this championship, he was like, "This is for a fighting champion. This is for someone who is going to show up and show out." And then there's no creative there. So, how is a champion going to show up and show out when you're not giving them anything? So it is what it is, you guys. We got Goldberg, and he's gonna be fighting Gunther, and then after that, who knows what's gonna freaking happen? But at the end of the day, this did not surprise anybody. We I feel like we all knew as soon as Gunther got the title from Jay that this is what we were doing, and this was the route that we were going. I just don't feel like it's needed. I feel like you could have easily had the Gunther Goldberg match without involving the title. That's just my opinion. Maybe some of you guys are excited about it, and that's great. That's fine. We all have our opinions, but this is just not one that's for me. We also then saw some more Judgment Day issues. I don't know when this group's gonna finally go their separate ways, but it's gonna happen eventually. When, I don't know. I do feel like the WWE is dragging it out a lot, and I feel like it needs to happen sooner rather than later because we've been on this train track for a while now, and we just keep going at full speed and not crashing into anything. So I do feel like this needs to crash and this needs to break up, and I feel like Liv and Dom need to go their separate ways. Finn and whoever wants to follow him need to go their ways, but I just think this group is not doing anything anymore. We had JD versus AJ, and this sets us up for AJ versus Dom at Night of Champions. And honestly, I'm kind of excited for AJ versus Dom. I think that's going to be a great match. I, of course, want Dom to win because I want him to have a longer title run. I enjoy him a lot. He's grown on me, and at first I wasn't a huge fan. I wouldn't say I wasn't a fan. I just was indifferent. But he's grown on me a lot, and I am a Dom supporter now, and I like him, and I like what he's doing, and I want him to hold that title for longer. But I do like this opponent for Dom. I like him going against AJ because we all know what AJ brings to the ring. He is a force to be reckoned with. And so I really like that Dom is getting such a strong opponent for this title. What I will say is I hope there's not that many interferences. I want Dom, and I know his whole thing is like the Eddie Guerrero, like lie, cheat, steal. But I want Dom to actually show that he can win on his own because he can. He's really good, and if you actually sit and watch him, you will see that he's very good. I want him to. I don't want this match at Night of Champions to have a whole lot of interference, like every other match with them does. Now, what I will say is, I will say at some point in time, Finn is going to probably interrupt and cause some chaos because that's what Finn does lately. Then he'll, say, "Oh, my bad, my bad, my bad, you guys." But I definitely think that this match between JD and Styles was good, and it was a good way to pivot into that Styles versus Dom matchup. And I'm glad we're getting more matches on the card because literally Night of Champions is the next week and we don't have that much on the card. So it's kind of nice to know that we are getting more on the card now. Then we have an old rivalry renewed between Bayley and Becky. And again, this is not a rivalry that should shock anybody. As soon as we found out Becky is the one that took Bayley out, we should have known that this was going to happen. What I do like about this is Becky feels more comfortable in her heel role, and I really am enjoying it. I feel like the before times when she's been a heel, it's been kind of hit and miss. And now I feel like she's actually owning it. She's very comfortable in it. And so I think that that will only fuel this feud even further. I definitely feel like we're going to get this match at Evolution. It makes the most sense to have this match at Evolution and to really kind of put emphasis on this rivalry because this is not the first time that these two have come together and met. They've worked together, they've worked against each other, and so to have such a long standing history and chemistry in the ring will be a good match card to put on Evolution. But honestly, the promo last night isn't one that I'm going to be talking about. It didn't shock me. Nothing was like, oh my god. But I am excited for this feud. I think it's a good first feud for Becky and her title reign. And I honestly think that you guys may disagree with me, but I think that any match that Bayley is in, she does bring a lot of chemistry and a lot of interest too. Like I like her. I like seeing her perform. Now I will admit, when she was first, before she was out taken out by Becky, she was getting, numerous opportunities and numerous storylines, and there was a lot going on, and I didn't like that because I didn't feel like they were, um, you know, planting the seed and growing one storyline. They were just plugging her into every storyline. And I didn't like that because I feel like that Bayley is a strong character to where you put her in a long standing storyline so that she can really grow with that person and they can create something great. And I think that with Becky, she will do that. So I'm excited to see this. And I'm excited to see more heel Becky because, like I said, I think she's really coming into that character and into that role. And then, of course, we had Liv versus Kairi Sane. And I am so sad for Liv, you guys. Like, it literally makes me want to cry talking about it because I love Liv Morgan and I love what she brings to the table. I love what she does for the WWE. And there's a lot of people out there that will debate whether they're fans of her or not, etc., whatever, Rio over Liv, whatever. I'm not getting into that. You can have your own opinion, but to look at me and tell me that Liv Morgan is not an asset to the women's division, I'm going to look at you and tell you you're full of shit because she is. She is the passion that she brings, the work ethic that she brings. She is what the definition of a WWE star is. She loves her job. She loves every storyline, every character. She puts 100% effort into it, and she takes the time to craft it and make it hers. And that's what makes her so compelling to everybody. She is literally in the trenches in every single storyline that she is in. She's in it. She sells it. She plays the role. She works hard. And so for you all to tell me that she is not an asset to the WWE, just leave my channel now, because she is. And for all of the people that was celebrating her injury, no, we don't do that here. We don't celebrate any injury. I don't care if it's somebody that I don't like. I do not celebrate an injury, because at the end of the day, these people have real lives, real jobs, real family, real loved ones, like real kids, whatever it might be. They have real shit going on that they have to deal with, and that injury not only affects this job, but it affects their personal life. So we don't celebrate injuries here. Nobody, don't care who it is, I don't celebrate it. Don't like it. So y'all can leave my page too if you're celebrating her injury. But I hope that we get good news. I'm really trying to stay positive. I know she dislocated her shoulder. And that time frame can be pretty long if it's severe. It can also be kind of short if it's not. So I don't really know what it looks like for her right now, but I hope that she's not out for a long time, because I love Liv Morgan, and that's all I'm gonna say on that. And then we finish the show, of course, with the men's qualifying matchup: Jey Uso versus Rusev, Sheamus, and Bronson Reed. And honestly, I thought that Bronson Reed was going to win this, because I thought that Seth and his gang was going to interfere and take everybody out. Jey Uso won. And of course, I'm happy, because y'all know I stand for Jey Uso. But the reason why I like this move even more, and kind of why I hate it, like I'm nervous, you guys, but this sets up Jey versus Cody for the next round. And then if Jey wins and Sammy wins on the other side, it could set up Sammy versus Jey in the final. So this is the stories that I need for this tournament, because this makes it interesting. Now, I love Jey and Cody's dynamic. I love their friendship. I love what they have. But one man has to win. And we keep seeing Seth Rollins not attacking Cody. He attacks literally everybody on the roster, but not Cody. So I feel like some sketchy shit's gonna go down during this qualifying matchup. And then we keep seeing Karrion Kross in Sammy's ear. And we know Sammy and Jey are boys. They love each other. But let's be honest, Sammy is sketchy too. He's been sketchy. He's been a little off. So I really am interested in what's going to happen in this tournament. And I think that Jey winning this out of all the other three, and don't get me wrong, I love all the other three. I think Rusev and Sheamus are going to do their own thing and have their own match. Bronson Reed has Seth and Braun behind him, so he's going to get opportunities. But I think Jey winning this made the most sense, and not just because I'm a fan of his, but just with the storylines. There's so many possible storylines there to go with now. And I think it's going to be interesting, and I think it's going to bring that drama factor that this match really needed. So I'm excited to see what happens, you guys. But overall, Raw was okay. It was a decent episode. We had some decent matches. We had some unfortunate injuries. But I just, again, I think the commercials and the breaks take away from the entire show. And I want less commercials and more action. So maybe we can get to that point. We'll see. But I feel like it needs to flow a little better. But overall, we did have a good show. I am still upset that, Liv got hurt. Jey lost his title. It's been a rough couple weeks for my favorites. But we're gonna hang in there and we're gonna keep going. But I am starting a new challenge for myself, and I want to try and post and bring you guys content every single day on this channel, Monday to Friday. So starting today, we're gonna do every single day of content, Monday to Friday. Because I really love this channel, love growing this channel, and love talking about wrestling and connecting with you guys. And so I wanted to make that goal for myself, so let's do it. But if you have not already, please subscribe to my channel, follow me on all social medias, and join me for the next video.